Welcome to a journey into the most mysterious and profound corners of our existence, the world of dreams. Have you ever woken up from a dream, only to find yourself back in the same scenario, facing the same challenge, or feeling the same intense emotion, night after night? If so, you're not alone. Recurring dreams are a universal phenomenon, a persistent whisper from our subconscious, often escalating into a shout if left unheeded. They are not random occurrences. They are urgent messages, a primal form of communication from the deepest parts of ourselves, signaling that something within us demands attention, resolution, or healing. This isn't just about fleeting images. It's about a persistent narrative, a story your inner self is desperately trying to tell you. Think of your mind as a vast ocean. The conscious mind is the surface, aware of the immediate waves and currents. But beneath lies the immense, powerful, and often turbulent subconscious, a realm where memories, fears, desires, and unresolved conflicts reside. When a dream repeats, it's like a powerful undercurrent pulling you back to the same spot, indicating a significant issue that the conscious mind might be overlooking or actively avoiding. It's a call to action, a plea for understanding, a profound opportunity for self-discovery and growth. Throughout history, dreams have been revered as portals to other dimensions, as divine messages, or as insights into the future. Ancient civilizations, from the Egyptians to the Greeks, built temples dedicated to dream interpretation, believing that, in sleep, the soul could commune with higher powers or gain wisdom. Indigenous cultures across the globe still hold dreams in high esteem, seeing them as guidance from ancestors or nature spirits. Even in modern psychology, pioneers like Sigmund Freud and Carl Jung dedicated their lives to deciphering the symbolic language of dreams, recognizing their immense power in revealing the hidden dynamics of the psyche. Freud saw dreams as the royal road to the unconscious, a disguised fulfillment of repressed wishes. Jung expanded on this, introducing concepts like the collective unconscious and archetypes, suggesting that dreams connect us to universal patterns of human experience. Today, neuroscience continues to unravel the complex brain activity during sleep, showing how dreams play a crucial role in memory consolidation, emotional regulation, and problem solving. The persistence of a recurring dream, therefore, is a powerful indicator that your brain and psyche are working overtime, attempting to process and integrate an experience, emotion, or conflict that remains unresolved in your waking life. It's a feedback loop, a continuous loop of information trying to break through the conscious barriers. Perhaps you're experiencing a recurring dream where you're constantly late for an important event, no matter how hard you try to rush. This isn't just about punctuality. It could be a deep-seated anxiety about missing opportunities, feeling unprepared for life's challenges, or a fear of failure. Or maybe you dream of being trapped in a maze, unable to find your way out. This might symbolize a feeling of being stuck in a difficult life situation, a career path you dislike, or a relationship that feels suffocating. The dream isn't just showing you a maze, it's showing you your emotional state, your sense of helplessness, and your longing for liberation. These dreams are not meant to torment you. They are meant to guide you. They are your inner compass, pointing towards areas in your life that require attention, healing, or change. Ignoring them is akin to ignoring a persistent warning light on your car's dashboard. Eventually, the underlying issue will manifest in your waking life, often in more challenging ways. This video will serve as your comprehensive guide to understanding the profound language of dreams, particularly those that repeat. We will delve into the science behind dream repetition, explore the psychological meanings of common recurring themes, and uncover the messages your subconscious mind is desperately trying to convey. We'll examine the impact of trauma and anxiety on our dreamscapes and explore spiritual and symbolic interpretations from various cultures. Most importantly, we will equip you with practical strategies and techniques to break the cycle of recurring dreams, including detailed dream journaling methods, self-analysis tools, and even how emerging technologies like AI are beginning to assist in this ancient quest for understanding. By the end of this journey, you will not only have a deeper appreciation for the power of your dreams, but also the tools to interpret their wisdom, integrate their lessons, and ultimately foster profound personal growth. So, if that dream keeps repeating itself, prepare to listen. Your inner self is screaming for help, and it's time to answer that call. Let's unlock the secrets together. The science behind dream repetition. To truly understand why certain dreams insist on replaying themselves, we must first delve into the fascinating neuroscience of sleep and dreaming. It's not just a passive state. Sleep is an incredibly active period for our brains, a time of intense processing, consolidation, and emotional regulation. The most vivid and memorable dreams, especially recurring ones, typically occur during rapid eye movement, or REM sleep. During REM, our brain activity closely resembles that of wakefulness, but our bodies are temporarily paralyzed, preventing us from acting out our dreams. This paradoxical state allows the brain to engage in complex simulations without physical consequences. Neuroscientists have identified several key brain regions and processes that are highly active during REM sleep and are thought to contribute to the phenomenon of recurring dreams. The limbic system, which includes the amygdala and hippocampus, is particularly engaged. The amygdala, the brain's emotional center, processes fear, anxiety, and other strong emotions, while the hippocampus plays a crucial role in memory, formation, and retrieval. During REM sleep, these areas work in concert, replaying and reprocessing emotional experiences and memories from our waking lives. This reprocessing is not always straightforward. It's often symbolic and metaphorical, which is why dreams can feel so bizarre yet profoundly meaningful. One prominent theory explaining recurring dreams is the emotional regulation theory. This theory suggests that dreams, particularly those in REM sleep, serve as a kind of nocturnal therapy, helping us to process and integrate difficult emotions and experiences that we might not have fully dealt with during the day. If an emotion or a traumatic event is particularly overwhelming or unresolved, the brain may repeatedly return to it in dreams, attempting to find a resolution or to desensitize itself to the emotional charge. For instance, someone experiencing chronic stress at work might repeatedly dream of being overwhelmed by paperwork or missing deadlines. The brain is trying to regulate the anxiety associated with their job, perhaps by simulating scenarios where they confront or escape the stressor. Another compelling theory is the threat simulation theory, proposed by Antti Revonsuo. This theory posits that dreams, especially nightmares and recurring dreams involving threats, function as an ancient biological defense mechanism. Our ancestors, facing constant dangers, would have benefited from a safe environment to practice threat perception and avoidance. In this view, recurring dreams of being chased, falling, or being attacked are not just random anxieties. They are the brain's way of rehearsing responses to potential dangers, sharpening our survival instincts. That while modern life presents different threats, the underlying neural mechanisms persist. A recurring dream of being chased might reflect a feeling of being overwhelmed by a deadline, a difficult conversation, or a personal responsibility, rather than a physical predator. The brain is still simulating a threat, albeit a psychological one, and attempting to prepare you for it. Memory consolidation also plays a significant role. During sleep, the brain actively sorts, stores, and integrates new information and experiences into our long-term memory. If a particular memory or experience is highly salient, emotionally charged, or incomplete, the brain may repeatedly access and process it during sleep. This can manifest as a recurring dream, as the brain attempts to file away or make sense of the information. Consider a student who is struggling with a complex academic concept. They might repeatedly dream of failing an exam or being unable to answer a question. This isn't just about the exam itself. It's the brain's attempt to consolidate the learning material, identify gaps in understanding, and perhaps even stimulate problem-solving pathways that could lead to a breakthrough. The brain's default mode network, a system of interacting brain regions that is active when we are not focused on the outside world, is also highly engaged during dreaming. This network is associated with self-referential thought, introspection, and imagining future scenarios and recurring dreams. This network might be working to integrate aspects of our self-identity with unresolved issues, creating a continuous narrative that reflects our inner struggles and aspirations. Furthermore, the prefrontal cortex, responsible for logical reasoning and decision-making, is less active during REM sleep. This explains why dreams can be so illogical, bizarre, and emotionally charged. Without the usual conscious filters, the subconscious mind is free to express itself through vivid imagery and symbolic narratives, often bypassing the rational mind's attempts to suppress or ignore difficult truths. This reduced prefrontal activity also means that the emotional content of dreams can feel incredibly real and intense, making recurring dreams particularly impactful. The brain is essentially running a simulation without its usual editor, allowing raw emotions and unresolved conflicts to play out in a dramatic fashion. Understanding these neurological underpinnings helps us to see recurring dreams not as mere annoyances, but as sophisticated biological and psychological processes. They are the brain's persistent efforts to achieve homeostasis, to resolve cognitive dissonance, and to prepare us for the challenges of waking life. By recognizing the scientific basis of these nocturnal narratives, we can approach them with greater curiosity and respect, knowing that they are powerful indicators of our inner landscape and vital clues to our overall well-being. The next time a dream repeats, remember that your brain is working hard, trying to tell you something important. It's a complex symphony of neural activity, all orchestrated to help you process, adapt, and grow. Psychological meanings of common recurring dreams. Now that we've explored the scientific bedrock of dream repetition, let's dive into the rich tapestry of psychological meanings behind some of the most common recurring dream themes. These aren't just random scenarios. They are archetypal narratives, deeply embedded in the human psyche, reflecting universal anxieties, fears, and desires. Understanding their symbolic language can unlock profound insights into your waking life. One of the most frequently reported recurring dreams is falling. This dream often evokes a terrifying sensation of losing control, plummeting uncontrollably. Psychologically, falling dreams are almost universally linked to feelings of insecurity, instability, or a loss of control in your waking life. Are you feeling overwhelmed by a situation at work, a relationship, or a financial burden? Perhaps you're experiencing a significant life transition, like a career change or a move, which leaves you feeling unmored. The dream of falling can be a direct reflection of your subconscious, grappling with these feelings of helplessness or a fear of failure. For example, a young professional who constantly dreams of falling might be struggling with imposter syndrome in a new, demanding role, fearing they will be found out or fail to meet expectations. The dream is a visceral representation of their internal anxiety about their perceived lack of control or competence. Another pervasive recurring dream is being chased. This dream typically involves a relentless pursuit by an unknown figure, an animal, or even a monstrous entity. The core psychological meaning here is avoidance. What are you running from in your waking life? It could be a difficult conversation you've been putting off, a responsibility you're shirking, a past trauma you haven't confronted, or an aspect of yourself you're unwilling to acknowledge. The pursuer often symbolizes the very thing you're trying to escape. If the pursuer is a shadowy figure, it might represent an unacknowledged fear or a repressed part of your personality. If it's an animal, its characteristics might offer clues. A fierce dog could be an aggressive boss, a snake, a deceptive friend. A common variation is being chased but unable to run. Your legs feeling heavy or stuck. This amplifies the feeling of helplessness and being trapped by the issue you're avoiding. Consider a person who repeatedly dreams of being chased by a large, shadowy beast. Upon reflection, they might realize they've been avoiding confronting a toxic family member about their behavior. The beast is the embodiment of the fear and anger they've suppressed, which is now demanding to be faced. The dream is urging them to stop running and turn around. Losing teeth is another incredibly common and often distressing recurring dream. This dream is frequently associated with feelings of powerlessness, vulnerability, or a fear of losing something important. Teeth symbolize strength, confidence, and our ability to communicate and assert ourselves. Losing them in a dream can signify a fear of losing your attractiveness, your ability to express yourself effectively, or your personal power. It can also relate to anxieties about aging, health, or a fear of embarrassment in social situations. For instance, someone preparing for a major public presentation might repeatedly dream of their teeth falling out, reflecting their deep-seated anxiety about being judged, losing their composure, or failing to articulate their ideas clearly. The dream highlights their vulnerability and fear of public humiliation. The dream of being naked in public is a classic representation of vulnerability, shame, and exposure. It often occurs when you feel exposed, unprepared, or judged in a waking situation. This dream can signify a fear of revealing your true self, your flaws, or your insecurities to others. It can also relate to feelings of guilt, or a fear of being found out for something you've done, or are hiding. The public setting emphasizes the social aspect of this anxiety. A person who has recently started a new job where they feel out of their depth might dream of being naked in the office. This dream perfectly encapsulates their feelings of inadequacy, their fear of being exposed as incompetent, and their vulnerability in a new environment, failing an exam, or being unprepared for a test is a recurring dream that often plagues individuals long after their academic careers have ended. This dream typically symbolizes performance anxiety, a fear of being judged, or feeling unprepared for a challenge in your current life. It's not about the actual test. It's about the metaphorical tests life throws at you. Are you facing a new project, a job interview, a relationship milestone, or a personal challenge that makes you feel inadequate? The dream is reflecting your internal pressure to perform and your fear of not measuring up. An executive facing a critical business presentation might repeatedly dream of failing a high school math test. This dream, despite its seemingly trivial subject matter, is a powerful manifestation of their current performance anxiety and fear of professional failure. Conversely, flying dreams are often exhilarating and empowering, symbolizing freedom, liberation, and overcoming obstacles. If you repeatedly dream of flying, it might indicate a period of personal growth, a sense of achievement, or a feeling of rising above your problems. However, If the flying is difficult, uncontrolled, or you're struggling to stay airborne, it might suggest a struggle to maintain your sense of freedom or power in your waking life. A person who has recently broken free from a restrictive relationship might repeatedly dream of soaring effortlessly, reflecting their newfound sense of independence and liberation. The dream reinforces their feeling of empowerment and freedom. Finally, the dream of being trapped or unable to escape is a powerful metaphor for feeling stuck in a situation, relationship, or mindset in your waking life. This could be a job you hate, a toxic relationship, a financial burden, or even a limiting belief system. The dream highlights your desire for freedom and your frustration with your current constraints. The specific nature of the trap, a small room, a cage, quicksand, can offer further clues about the nature of your confinement. Someone feeling suffocated by family obligations might repeatedly dream of being stuck in a small, windowless room, symbolizing their desire for personal space and autonomy. The dream is a clear message that they need to find a way to break free from these perceived limitations. It's crucial to remember that while these interpretations offer a general framework, the true meaning of your recurring dream is deeply personal. The symbols in your dream are filtered through your unique experiences, emotions, and cultural background. Therefore, when analyzing your own recurring dreams, always ask yourself, what does this symbol mean to me? And what emotions did I feel in the dream? And how do they relate to my waking life? By engaging in this process of self-reflection and inquiry, you can move beyond generic interpretations and uncover the specific, urgent message your subconscious is trying to deliver. These recurring dreams are not just stories. They are invitations to understand, confront, and ultimately transform your reality. The subconscious mind's messages, our journey into the world of recurring dreams, inevitably leads us to the vast and enigmatic realm of the subconscious mind. This is where the true power of dreams lies, acting as a direct conduit to the hidden depths of our psyche. The subconscious is a repository of everything we've ever experienced, felt, thought, and repressed. It's a powerful engine running beneath the surface of our conscious awareness, influencing our behaviors, emotions, and perceptions in ways we often don't fully comprehend. When a dream repeats, it's the subconscious mind, in its infinite wisdom, attempting to bring a critical message to the forefront of our awareness, often using a language of symbols and metaphors that bypasses our conscious defenses. Pioneers like Sigmund Freud and Carl Jung offered groundbreaking perspectives on the subconscious and its communication through dreams. Freud, the father of psychoanalysis, believed that dreams are primarily a form of wish fulfillment, a disguised expression of our repressed desires, conflicts, and unresolved issues, particularly those stemming from childhood. He argued that the conscious mind, with its moral and social constraints, often suppresses unacceptable thoughts and urges. During sleep, these repressed contents find an outlet in dreams, albeit in a symbolic, often distorted form, to protect the dreamer from the full impact of their true, raw desires. For Freud, the recurring dream was a clear sign of an unresolved conflict or a persistent, unfulfilled wish that the subconscious was continually trying to process and express. For example, a recurring dream of being late might, from a Freudian perspective, symbolize a repressed desire to rebel against authority or to avoid responsibility, rather than just a fear of missing an appointment. The subconscious is playing out a scenario where the ego's control is challenged. Carl Jung, a student of Freud, who later diverged, expanded on the concept of the subconscious, introducing the idea of the collective unconscious. This is a deeper, universal layer of the psyche, shared by all humanity. containing archetypes, primordial images, and patterns of thought that are inherited and common across cultures. Jung believed that dreams are not just about personal repression, but also about integrating these universal archetypes and achieving individuation, the process of becoming a whole, integrated self. For Jung, recurring dreams often highlight an imbalance or a need for integration within the psyche. They might be calling attention to an underdeveloped aspect of the personality, like the shadow, the repressed, darker aspects of ourselves, or the animus, the unconscious feminine, masculine qualities. A recurring dream of a monster chasing you, in Jungian terms, might be your shadow self demanding recognition and integration, rather than just a fear of an external threat. The subconscious is urging you to confront and understand these disowned parts of yourself. The language of the subconscious is symbolic. It doesn't speak in logical sentences, but in images, emotions, and narratives. This is why dream interpretation is an art as much as a science. A house in a dream might represent the self, with different rooms symbolizing different aspects of your personality or life. Water could symbolize emotions, with calm water indicating emotional serenity and turbulent water signifying emotional turmoil. Animals often represent instincts or specific qualities. For instance, a recurring dream of a bird might symbolize a desire for freedom or a spiritual awakening, while a snake could represent transformation, healing, or hidden dangers. The subconscious uses these symbols because they are universal, yet deeply personal. They allow complex ideas and feelings to be condensed into a single image, bypassing the conscious mind's tendency to rationalize or dismiss. When a dream repeats, it's because the symbolic message is so crucial that the subconscious keeps presenting it, hoping that the conscious mind will eventually decode and act upon it. Consider the concept of active imagination, a technique developed by Jung. This involves consciously re-entering a dream scenario while awake and allowing the dream images to unfold further, interacting with them as if they were real. This can be a powerful way to engage directly with the subconscious message, asking the dream figures or symbols what they represent and what they want from you. For example, if you have a recurring dream of being lost in a forest, you might, through active imagination, ask the forest what it represents or what path it wants you to take. This direct dialogue can reveal profound insights that are otherwise inaccessible. The subconscious also communicates through compensatory dreams. These dreams often present a perspective or an emotional experience that is opposite to our conscious attitude. If you are consciously very rational and logical, your dreams might be highly emotional and chaotic, compensating for the suppressed emotional side of your personality. A recurring dream of being out of control might be the subconscious, compensating for an overly rigid and controlling conscious life, urging you to loosen up and embrace spontaneity. Ultimately, the recurring messages from the subconscious are not meant to confuse or frighten us. They are profound attempts at self-regulation and self-healing. They highlight areas of imbalance, unresolved conflicts, unexpressed emotions, and unmet needs. They are a call to integrate fragmented parts of ourselves, to confront our fears, to acknowledge our desires, and to move towards greater wholeness. By paying close attention to these persistent nocturnal narratives, by learning to speak the symbolic language of our inner world, we can unlock a powerful source of wisdom and guidance. The subconscious mind is not a dark, mysterious void. It is a wise elder, a creative artist, and a compassionate guide, constantly working to help us navigate the complexities of life and achieve our fullest potential. Listen closely to its messages, for they hold the keys to your deepest self. Trauma, anxiety, and nightmare cycles. While many recurring dreams offer gentle guidance or highlight areas for growth, some delve into the darker, more distressing territories of trauma and anxiety, manifesting as persistent nightmares. These aren't just bad dreams. They are the psyche's desperate attempts to process overwhelming experiences, often leaving us feeling exhausted, fearful, and reluctant to sleep. Understanding the intricate relationship between trauma, anxiety, and recurring nightmares is crucial for healing and breaking these cycles. Trauma, whether it's a single catastrophic event or prolonged exposure to stress, leaves an indelible mark on the brain and body. Post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, is a prime example where recurring, vivid, and distressing dreams are a hallmark symptom. For individuals with PTSD, nightmares often involve re-experiencing the traumatic event itself, or variations of it, in a highly realistic and terrifying manner. The brain, in its attempt to make sense of and integrate the traumatic memory, repeatedly replays the event, but often without resolution, leading to a cycle of re-traumatization during sleep. These dreams are not just memories. They are emotional flashbacks, complete with the physiological responses of fear, panic, and helplessness experienced during the original event. The amygdala, the brain's fear center, becomes hyperactive, while the prefrontal cortex, responsible for rational thought and emotional regulation, is often underactive during these dreams, making it difficult for the dreamer to process the experience logically or find a sense of safety. Consider a veteran who repeatedly dreams of combat scenarios, hearing explosions, feeling the ground shake, and seeing their comrades fall. Even years after the event, their brain is still trying to process the overwhelming sensory and emotional input, creating a loop of terror that prevents true healing. The dream is a raw, unfiltered replay of their deepest fears and losses, demanding integration. Anxiety, a pervasive feeling of worry, nervousness, or unease, also profoundly impacts our dreamscapes, often leading to recurring nightmares that reflect our waking fears. Generalized anxiety disorder, GAD, panic disorder, and social anxiety can all manifest as recurring dreams of being chased, failing, being trapped, or being exposed. These dreams amplify the feelings of helplessness and lack of control that characterize anxiety. The brain, constantly on high alert during the day, continues this vigilance during sleep, creating scenarios that mirror our waking anxieties. For example, someone with social anxiety might repeatedly dream of being naked in public, being unable to speak, or being ridiculed by a crowd. These dreams are a direct reflection of their intense fear of judgment and social humiliation, playing out the worst-case scenarios their anxious mind conjures during the day. The recurring nature of these nightmares is particularly insidious because it creates a vicious cycle. The distressing dreams lead to poor sleep quality, which exacerbates anxiety and stress in waking life, which in turn fuels more nightmares. This cycle can be incredibly difficult to break without intervention. The brain, instead of processing and resolving the trauma or anxiety, gets stuck in a loop of re-experiencing it, preventing emotional regulation and healing. One of the most effective therapeutic approaches for breaking the cycle of trauma-related nightmares is imagery rehearsal therapy, IRT. IRT is a cognitive behavioral technique where the individual actively rewrites the script of their recurring nightmare while awake. The process involves 1. Identifying the core nightmare. The individual describes the nightmare in detail. 2. Changing the narrative. They then consciously change the distressing elements of the dream, giving it a positive or neutral outcome. For example, if they're being chased, they might imagine turning around and confronting the pursuer, finding a hidden door, or suddenly being able to fly away. 3. Rehearsing the new dream. The individual mentally rehearses this new, positive version of the dream daily, often for 5 to 10 minutes before going to sleep. 4. The goal of IRT is to reprogram the brain's response to the nightmare, replacing the distressing script with a more empowering one. Over time, this can reduce the frequency and intensity of the original nightmare, or even replace it with the new, rehearsed version. For anxiety-driven nightmares, addressing the underlying waking anxiety is paramount. Techniques such as cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, can help individuals identify and challenge negative thought patterns that fuel anxiety. Mindfulness, meditation, deep breathing exercises, and progressive muscle relaxation can also help to calm the nervous system, both during the day and before sleep, reducing the likelihood of anxiety manifesting as nightmares. Creating a consistent and calming sleep hygiene routine is also critical. This includes going to bed and waking up at the same time each day, ensuring the bedroom is dark, quiet, and cool, avoiding caffeine and alcohol before bed, and engaging in relaxing activities like reading or a warm bath before sleep. These practices signal to the brain that it's safe to rest, reducing the hyperarousal that often accompanies trauma and anxiety. Furthermore, seeking professional help from a therapist specializing in trauma or anxiety is often necessary. They can provide a safe space to process the underlying issues, teach coping mechanisms, and guide individuals through evidence-based therapies like eye movement, desensitization, and reprocessing EMDR for trauma, which can significantly reduce the emotional charge of traumatic memories and their manifestation in dreams. Recurring nightmares, while terrifying, are not without purpose. They are urgent signals from our deepest selves, screaming for attention and healing. By understanding their origins in trauma and anxiety, and by actively engaging in therapeutic strategies, we can begin to break free from their grip, transforming these distressing nocturnal experiences into pathways for profound healing and emotional liberation. It's a courageous step to confront these inner demons, but one that ultimately leads to greater peace and resilience. Spiritual and symbolic interpretations. Beyond the scientific and psychological frameworks, dreams have always held a profound spiritual and symbolic significance across cultures and throughout history. For millennia, dreams were considered sacred, a direct channel to the divine, to ancestral wisdom, or to the deeper truths of the universe. When a dream repeats, its spiritual message is often amplified, demanding our attention as a signpost on our soul's journey. In many ancient traditions, dreams were not merely random brain activity, but prophecies, warnings, or guidance from higher powers. The Egyptians meticulously recorded their dreams in hieroglyphs, believing they could predict the future or reveal divine will. The Greeks and Romans sought healing and insight in dream temples, where supplicants would sleep, hoping for a dream from a god that would offer a cure or a solution. Indigenous cultures, from Native American tribes to Aboriginal Australians, viewed dreams as a vital connection to the spirit world, a place where shamans journey for healing and wisdom, and where individuals receive personal totems or guidance for their community. From a spiritual perspective, recurring dreams are often seen as a soul's persistent attempt to communicate an unlearned lesson, an unfulfilled spiritual calling, or an unacknowledged truth. They might be urging you to align more closely with your authentic self, to address a moral dilemma, or to embark on a path of spiritual growth. The symbols within these dreams are not just personal. They often tap into a collective unconscious, carrying universal meanings that resonate across humanity. Let's explore some common spiritual symbols and their interpretations in recurring dreams. Animals. Animals in dreams often represent our primal instincts, our connection to nature, or specific qualities. A recurring dream of a snake can symbolize transformation, healing, or hidden wisdom, as well as potential deception or temptation, depending on its context and your feeling towards it. A bird might represent freedom, spiritual aspiration, or a message from the divine. A lion could signify courage, leadership, or a need to assert your power. A wolf might point to loyalty, intuition, or a sense of being an outsider. The specific animal and its behavior in your dream are crucial clues. Water. Water is a powerful symbol of emotions, the unconscious, and the flow of life. A recurring dream of calm, clear water might signify emotional peace, spiritual clarity, or a period of renewal. Turbulent, muddy water could point to emotional turmoil, confusion, or unresolved issues that are clouding your spiritual path. A flood might symbolize being overwhelmed by emotions or a need for emotional release. Drowning could indicate feeling overwhelmed by life's challenges or a spiritual crisis. Houses, buildings. A house often represents the self, with different rooms symbolizing different aspects of your personality or life. A recurring dream of an old, dilapidated house might suggest a need to address neglected aspects of your past or self. A new, unfinished house could symbolize a period of personal growth, new beginnings, or a work in progress. A locked room might represent a hidden talent, a repressed memory, or an unexplored aspect of your potential. Trees, nature. Trees are symbols of growth, life, connection, and wisdom. A recurring dream of a strong, rooted tree can signify stability, grounding, and spiritual connection. A dying tree might suggest a loss of vitality, a need for spiritual nourishment, or an ending phase in your life. A forest can represent the unconscious mind, a journey of self-discovery, or feeling lost in life's complexities. Colors. Colors in dreams carry significant symbolic weight. Red often symbolizes passion, anger, energy, or danger. Blue can represent peace, spirituality, sadness, or truth. Green is associated with growth, healing, nature, or envy. Black might signify the unknown, death, mystery, or protection. The recurring appearance of a specific color can highlight an emotional or spiritual theme that needs attention. Numbers. Numbers can hold mystical or numerological significance. A recurring number might be a message about cycles, stages of development, or a specific spiritual lesson. For example, 3 often symbolizes completion, creativity, or the divine trinity. 7 is associated with spirituality, introspection, and perfection, light and darkness. These are fundamental spiritual symbols. Light represents consciousness, enlightenment, hope, or truth. Darkness can symbolize the unknown, the unconscious, fear, or a period of introspection before rebirth. A recurring dream of moving from darkness into light, or vice versa, can signify a spiritual transition or a journey of self-discovery. When interpreting these symbols in your recurring dreams, it's vital to consider your personal associations and cultural background. While the snake might universally symbolize transformation, your personal experience with snakes' fear, fascination, cultural stories will color its specific meaning for you. The spiritual interpretation of recurring dreams often involves asking deeper questions. What spiritual lesson is this dream trying to teach me? Am I living in alignment with my true self? What aspect of my soul is seeking expression or healing? Engaging with these questions can lead to profound spiritual insights and guide you towards a more purposeful life. Many spiritual traditions encourage practices like meditation, prayer, or ritual to connect with dream wisdom. Before sleep, you might set an intention to receive clarity on your recurring dream. Upon waking, Immediately record the dream and then meditate on its symbols, allowing your intuition to guide you towards its deeper meaning. Some believe that recurring dreams are also messages from ancestors or spirit guides, offering protection, warnings, or encouragement. If you resonate with this perspective, you might engage in practices to connect with these guides, asking for clearer dream messages or for assistance in understanding them. Ultimately, the spiritual and symbolic interpretation of recurring dreams invites us to view our inner world as a sacred landscape, rich with meaning and guidance. It encourages us to listen to the whispers of our soul, to honor the ancient wisdom embedded within us, and to recognize that our dreams are not just nocturnal fantasies, but profound communications from the depths of our being, guiding us towards wholeness and spiritual awakening. That embrace this ancient wisdom and let your dreams illuminate your path. Chapter 7. How to break the cycle of recurring dreams. Understanding the science, psychology, and symbolism of recurring dreams is a powerful first step, but the ultimate goal is often to break free from their repetitive grip, especially when they are distressing. This isn't about suppressing the dream, but about addressing the underlying message so effectively that the subconscious no longer needs to repeat it. Breaking the cycle involves a combination of practical strategies, psychological techniques, and a willingness to confront the issues your dreams are highlighting. One of the most empowering techniques for recurring nightmares and even some anxiety-driven dreams is lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming is the state of being aware that you are dreaming while the dream is happening. Once lucid, you gain a degree of control over the dream narrative, allowing you to confront the dream's source, change its outcome, or even ask dream figures for guidance. This transforms a passive, frightening experience into an active, empowering one. Several techniques can induce lucid dreaming. 1. Reality testing RT. Throughout your waking day, regularly ask yourself, am I dreaming? And perform a reality test. Common tests include trying to push your finger through your palm, looking at a clock twice time often changes in dreams, or trying to breathe through a pinched nose. If you make this a habit, you'll eventually do it in a dream, realize you're dreaming, and become lucid. 2. Mnemonic induction of lucid dreams. Mild, developed by Dr. Stephen Loberg. Mild involves setting an intention to become lucid before sleep. As you fall asleep, repeat to yourself, next time I'm dreaming, I will remember that I'm dreaming. Visualize yourself becoming lucid in a recent dream. This primes your mind to recognize the dream state. 3. Wake back to bed. WBTB. Wake up after 4 to 6 hours of sleep. Stay awake for 20 to 60 minutes reading about lucid dreaming, meditating, and then go back to sleep. This increases your chances of entering REM sleep with heightened conscious awareness. Once lucid in a recurring dream, you can actively engage with its elements. If you're being chased, you can turn around and ask the pursuer, what do you represent? What do you want from me? If you're falling, you can choose to fly. This direct interaction can provide immediate insights and help your subconscious find a resolution. Beyond lucid dreaming, addressing the underlying waking life issues is paramount. Recurring dreams are often symptoms of unresolved conflicts, stress, or unaddressed emotions. Problem solving. If your dream is about being unprepared for a test, identify areas in your waking life where you feel unprepared. Develop a plan to address them. If it's about being trapped, explore where you feel stuck and brainstorm steps to gain more freedom. Emotional processing. If your dream is emotionally charged, for example, fear, sadness, anger, dedicate time to process these emotions during the day. Journal about them. Talk to a trusted friend or therapist, or engage in creative expression. Suppressing emotions only makes the subconscious work harder to bring them to your attention. Boundary setting. Many recurring dreams reflect a lack of boundaries or feeling overwhelmed by others' demands. Learning to say no, prioritizing your needs, and establishing healthy boundaries can significantly reduce the internal pressure that fuels these dreams. For recurring nightmares, especially those linked to trauma, cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia CBTI principles can be adapted. While primarily for insomnia, its focus on sleep hygiene and challenging negative thought patterns around sleep can be beneficial. Specifically, imagery rehearsal therapy, IRT, as discussed in Chapter 5, is a powerful CBT technique for nightmares. By consciously rewriting and rehearsing a positive outcome for your nightmare, you can gradually replace the distressing dream script with a more empowering one. This active engagement with the dream narrative helps your brain to reprocess the traumatic memory in a safer, more controlled way. Mindfulness and meditation practices can also be incredibly effective. By cultivating present moment awareness, you can reduce overall anxiety and stress, which are major contributors to recurring dreams. Regular meditation can help you become more attuned to your inner emotional landscape, making it easier to identify and address the issues your dreams are highlighting. Practicing mindfulness before bed can calm the nervous system, creating a more peaceful state conducive to restful, less agitated sleep. Dream incubation is an ancient technique where you set an intention or ask a specific question before falling asleep, hoping to receive guidance in your dreams. If you have a recurring dream, you might ask, what is the core message of this dream? Or how can I resolve the conflict this dream represents? Keep a pen and paper by your bed to immediately record any insights upon waking. Finally, seeking professional guidance from a therapist or a dream worker can provide invaluable support. A trained professional can help you uncover the deeper psychological roots of your recurring dreams, guide you through therapeutic techniques, and offer a safe space to process difficult emotions or traumatic experiences. They can help you connect the dots between your dream content and your waking life, offering interpretations and strategies tailored to your unique situation. Breaking the cycle of recurring dreams is an active process that requires self-awareness, courage, and consistent effort. It's about listening to the urgent messages from your subconscious, confronting the issues they highlight, and taking deliberate steps to create resolution and healing in your waking life. By doing so, you not only gain freedom from the repetitive dream, but also unlock profound opportunities for personal growth and a deeper understanding of yourself. Your dreams are not your tormentors. They are your guides. Learn to work with them, and you will transform your inner world. Dream journaling and analysis techniques. The most fundamental and powerful tool for understanding your dreams, especially recurring ones, is the dream journal. Without a consistent record, dreams are fleeting, often forgotten moments after waking. A dream journal acts as a bridge between your conscious and subconscious worlds, allowing you to capture, reflect upon, and analyze the rich tapestry of your nocturnal narratives. It's not just about writing down what happened. It's about creating a dialogue with your inner self. Starting a dream journal is simple, but requires discipline. Keep a notebook and pen or a digital recorder app right next to your bed. The moment you wake up, before you even open your eyes fully or move, try to recall as much of the dream as possible. The first few minutes after waking are crucial, as dream memories fade rapidly. How to record your dreams. 1. Date and time. Always start with the date and approximate time of waking. 2. Title optional, but helpful. Give your dream a short, descriptive title. This can help you recall its essence later. 3. Detail everything. Write down everything you remember, no matter how trivial or bizarre it seems. Include 4. The narrative. What happened? Who was there? Where were you? 5. Sensory details. What did you see, hear, smell, taste, touch? Were there specific colors, sounds, or textures? 6. Emotions. Most importantly, what did you feel during the dream? Fear, joy, confusion, anger, peace. And how did you feel upon waking? 7. Key symbols, objects. List any prominent objects, animals, people, or places. 8. Actions, interactions. What did you do? How did others react? 9. Don't edit or censor. Write in the present tense as if it's happening now. Don't try to make sense of it while writing. Just capture the raw data. Even fragments are valuable. 10. Look for recurring elements. If you have a recurring dream, note down any new details or slight variations each time it appears. These subtle changes can be highly significant. 11. Once you have a collection of dreams, especially your recurring ones, you can begin the process of analysis. This isn't about finding a single, definitive answer, but about exploring possibilities and allowing insights to emerge. 12. Techniques for self-analysis. 13. Association. This is a core Freudian technique. For each key symbol, person, or event in your dream, write down the first 5 to 10 words or ideas that come to mind, without censoring. What do these elements mean to you personally? For example, if you dream of a snake, your associations might be fear, garden, temptation, wisdom, my ex-boyfriend. This personalizes the symbol. 14. Amplification, Jungian. Once you have your personal associations, you can amplify the meaning by researching universal, mythological, or cultural meanings of the symbols. What does a snake represent in ancient myths, folklore, or different cultures? How does this resonate with your personal associations? This broadens your understanding and connects your personal dream to collective human experience. 15. If this were my waking life. Exercise. For each major event or feeling in your dream, ask yourself, if this were happening in my waking life, what would it mean? What would I do? How would I feel? This helps bridge the gap between the dream world and your daily reality, often revealing direct parallels. 16. Emotional resonance. Revisit the emotions you felt in the dream. Where do you experience similar emotions in your waking life? This is often the most direct path to understanding the dream's message. A recurring dream of anxiety likely points to waking anxieties. 17. Dialogue with dream figures. Imagine having a conversation with a prominent figure or object from your dream. What would you ask it? What would it say back? This can be done through writing, drawing, or active imagination. For example, if a recurring dream involves a locked door, you might ask the door, what are you protecting? What's behind you? 18. Identify patterns and themes over time. Review your dream journal for recurring symbols, settings, actions, or emotions across different dreams. Not just the explicitly recurring ones. Are there common threads? Do certain people or places appear repeatedly? These patterns reveal deeper, ongoing psychological dynamics. 19. The aha moment. Often, the meaning of a dream doesn't come immediately. It might click days or weeks later when a waking life event provides context. Trust this intuitive aha moment. The dream's purpose is to bring something to your conscious awareness, and sometimes it takes time for the conscious mind to catch up. 20. Practical application. 21. Let's say you have a recurring dream of being late for an important meeting. Journaling. You record the details, the frantic rush, the feeling of panic, the specific meeting room, the faces of colleagues, association, late greater than unprepared, missing out, disappointment, meeting work, pressure, judgment, opportunity, colleagues, expectations, competition, emotional resonance. The overwhelming feeling is anxiety and inadequacy. Waking life connection. You reflect on your current job. Are you feeling overwhelmed by deadlines? Are you worried about a performance review? Are you struggling with time management? Perhaps you're feeling inadequate compared to your peers. Insight. The dream isn't just about being late. It's about your deep-seated anxiety regarding your professional competence and fear of failure. Action. Based on this insight, you might decide to proactively manage your workload, seek mentorship, or address your imposter syndrome. The dream has served its purpose by bringing this core anxiety to your attention, prompting you to take action in your waking life. Dream journaling and analysis are not about finding a definitive answer key for your dreams. They are about cultivating a deeper relationship with your inner world, learning its unique language, and using its wisdom to navigate your waking life with greater awareness and intention. It's a continuous process of self-discovery, a powerful dialogue with the most profound parts of yourself. Embrace this practice, and you will unlock a wellspring of personal insight and guidance. Using AI and technology for dream understanding in an era defined by rapid technological advancement, it's natural to wonder how cutting-edge tools like artificial intelligence can assist in the ancient quest for dream understanding. While AI cannot replace the deeply personal and intuitive process of self-reflection, it can certainly augment our efforts, offering new perspectives, identifying patterns, and making dream analysis more accessible. The intersection of AI and dream interpretation is a fascinating, albeit nascent, field. One of the most promising applications of AI in dream understanding lies in pattern recognition and thematic analysis. As you diligently record your dreams in a digital journal, AI algorithms can process vast amounts of text data, identifying recurring symbols, emotions, and narrative structures across your dreams over time. This can be incredibly helpful for recurring dreams, as AI can quickly highlight subtle variations or persistent elements that a human might overlook. For example, an AI-powered dream analysis app could analyze hundreds of your dream entries and identify that every time you dream of water, it's associated with feelings of anxiety, or that a specific person consistently appears in dreams where you feel powerless. This kind of data-driven insight can accelerate your self-analysis process, pointing you towards core themes you might not have consciously recognized. Several AI-powered dream analysis apps and platforms are emerging. These tools typically allow users to input their dream descriptions and then use natural language processing (NLP) to break down the text, identify keywords, and cross-reference them with databases of symbolic meanings, psychological theories like Jungian archetypes, and even cultural interpretations. Some apps might generate a dream report that highlights potential meanings, suggests connections to your waking life, or even offers reflective questions based on your dream content. While these tools can be a great starting point for beginners or a supplementary aid for experienced dreamers, it's crucial to understand their limitations. AI models are trained on existing data, which means their interpretations are based on generalized knowledge. Dreams are profoundly personal, and a symbol's meaning is heavily influenced by an individual's unique life experiences, cultural background, and emotional state. An AI might tell you a snake symbolizes transformation, but it won't know that you have a phobia of snakes due to a childhood incident, which would drastically alter its personal meaning for you. Therefore, AI should be seen as a co-pilot, not the captain. In your dream analysis journey, it can provide suggestions and highlight possibilities, But the ultimate interpretation and integration must come from your own intuition and self-reflection. Another area where technology is making strides is in sleep tracking and dream phase detection. Wearable devices like smartwatches and advanced sleep monitors can track your sleep cycles, including REM sleep. While they can't tell you what you're dreaming, knowing when you're in REM can be useful for lucid dreaming techniques like wake back to bed, or for simply understanding your sleep architecture. Some experimental technologies are even exploring ways to influence dreams or enhance dream recall. For instance, devices that play specific auditory cues during REM sleep are being researched to potentially induce lucid dreaming or to help consolidate specific memories. However, these are still largely in the research phase and not widely available or proven for consistent results. The future of AI in dream understanding might involve more sophisticated, personalized models. Imagine an AI that learns your unique symbolic language over years of journaling, understanding that for you, a specific color or animal always signifies a particular emotion or situation. This kind of personalized AI could offer highly tailored insights, acting as a digital dream mentor. Furthermore, AI could play a role in collective dream research by anonymizing and analyzing vast data sets of dreams from millions of users. Researchers could uncover new universal dream patterns, cultural variations, and even potential correlations between global events and collective dream themes. This could lead to groundbreaking discoveries in psychology, anthropology, and neuroscience. However, the use of AI in dream analysis also raises important ethical considerations. Privacy of dream data is paramount. Dreams are deeply intimate and revealing. Ensuring that personal dream journals are securely stored and anonymized is critical. There's also the risk of over-reliance on AI, potentially diminishing our own intuitive capacities for self-understanding. The goal should always be to empower the individual, not to replace their inner wisdom. In conclusion, while AI and technology offer exciting new avenues for exploring the world of dreams, they are best utilized as tools to enhance, not dictate, our understanding. They can help us identify patterns, provide general interpretations, and track our sleep. But the profound, transformative insights derived from dreams ultimately stem from our own conscious engagement, emotional processing, and intuitive connection to our subconscious mind. Embrace these technological aids, but always remember that the most powerful dream interpreter resides within you. Conclusion, integration, and personal growth. We've journeyed through the intricate landscape of dreams, from the scientific underpinnings of their repetition to the profound, psychological, spiritual, and technological dimensions of their meaning. We've explored why your inner self might be screaming for help through recurring dreams and equipped you with practical tools to listen, interpret, and respond. Now, as we conclude, the most crucial step remains: integration and personal growth. Understanding your dreams is not an end in itself. It's a powerful catalyst for transforming your waking life. Integration means taking the insights gained from your dreams and consciously applying them to your daily experiences. It's about bridging the gap between your nocturnal wisdom and your conscious actions. When you consistently have a recurring dream of being trapped, and through journaling and analysis, you realize it reflects your feeling stuck in a dead-end job. Integration means taking concrete steps to explore new career paths, update your resume, or seek further education. It means acknowledging the message and acting upon it, even if it's uncomfortable. Ignoring the message, even after understanding it, will only ensure the dream continues its persistent call. Personal growth is the natural outcome of this integration. By confronting the fears, anxieties, and unresolved conflicts that your recurring dreams highlight, You embark on a path of self-discovery and self-mastery. Each dream understood and acted upon chips away at the barriers that prevent you from living a more authentic, fulfilling life. Consider the example of the recurring dream of losing teeth, which we discussed earlier. If you've identified that this dream stems from a fear of public speaking and a feeling of vulnerability, integration would involve actively working on your communication skills, practicing presentations, and perhaps even seeking therapy to address the underlying anxiety. The growth comes from transforming that fear into confidence, that vulnerability into strength. This journey of dream interpretation is a continuous dialogue with your subconscious. It's not a one-time event, but an ongoing practice of self-awareness. Your dreams will continue to evolve as you evolve, presenting new challenges and offering new insights. By maintaining a dream journal, regularly reflecting on your nocturnal experiences, and staying open to their messages, you cultivate a profound relationship with your inner wisdom. Embrace the idea that your dreams are your allies, not adversaries. They are not trying to scare you. They are trying to guide you. They are not trying to confuse you. They are trying to clarify. They are not trying to torment you. They are trying to heal you. They are a testament to your mind's incredible capacity for self-regulation and growth, constantly striving for balance and wholeness. This process also fosters greater self-compassion. When you understand that your recurring nightmares are your brain's attempt to process trauma or anxiety, you can approach yourself with kindness rather than judgment. You can recognize that your inner self is working hard, even when you're asleep, to help you heal and thrive. So, what are your next steps? 1. Start or recommit to your dream journal today. Make it a non-negotiable part of your morning routine. 2. Actively engage with your recurring dreams. Use the techniques we've discussed: association, amplification, dialogue, and reality testing. 3. Connect your dream insights to your waking life. Ask yourself, what action can I take today, this week, this month, based on what my dream is telling me? 4. Be patient and persistent. Dream interpretation is a skill that develops over time. Some meanings will be immediately clear, others will unfold gradually. 5. Don't be afraid to seek professional help. If your recurring dreams are particularly distressing or linked to trauma, a therapist or dream worker can provide invaluable support and guidance. 6. Ultimately, the message from your dreams, especially those that repeat, is a call to awaken. It's an invitation to pay attention to what truly matters within you, to confront what needs healing, and to embrace the path of your authentic self. By answering this call, you unlock not just the meaning of your dreams, but the boundless potential for personal growth, inner peace, and a life lived with greater purpose and awareness. Your inner self is screaming for help, not out of weakness, but out of a profound desire for your well-being. Listen to its wisdom. It holds the keys to your liberation. Thank you for joining me on this incredible journey into the world of dreams. May your nights be filled with insightful narratives and your days with profound understanding.